incredible veterans and first responders, Brandon Stokely here, want to give you a big shout out. Take that first step towards healing takes real courage. There will be tough days and doubts along the way, but never forget what you're capable of. Military broadcast radio started with just a laptop and a USB headset. Now it's giving voices to thousands. Your journey matters. You matters. Keep pushing, keep rising. Happy Independence Day, happy July 4th, and thank you for your service.
At MB Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here at the Mile High skydiving event here in Longmont, Colorado. And ladies and gentlemen, the myth, the legend, the hero, firefighter,
Heather Wissonen.
Heather Wissonen. Yeah, I wasn't even going to try to pronounce the last name. I'll butcher it worse than Swedish Chef.
What? Chop, chop.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Heather Wissonen. I work for Denver Fire Department. I have been a firefighter since 2022. I work at Station 20, previously Station 29 out there. I experienced a fire that I ended up falling through a floor into a fully involved basement. And me and my partner managed to self-extricate with the help of a lot of the Denver Fire Department. And I'm here today because of it. So
when you say self-extricate, what do you mean by that?
So my partner and I were able to make it from the middle of the basement to an egress window that one of the firefighters had jumped into in the attempt to kind of jump in and get us, but instead we climbed out. So,
well, I'm glad that you're here. So tell us, what's the qualifications for a firefighter? Like, do you guys have a PT test? Because the military has a PT test. Tell us a little bit about the PT test.
We do. So we have to do what's called a CPAT in order to even get hired on, which involves doing stairs, carrying 75 pounds. You're kind of going through like a 13-minute process of stairs, pulling things, carrying things, turning, going under stuff. And then we go through a 23-week academy process, which is we do stairs 3 times a week, high-rise stairs, so you're carrying all of the gear. We're doing PT every morning. We're spending every single day out on the fire ground. And then at the end of it, we do an entire evolution where we're doing a high-rise evolution with two and a half hose, as well as immediately going from a high-rise evolution of stairs and the hose and to a RIT evolution and saving a down firefighter from a situation.
Wow. All right. So the question is, after the incident, are you going to make this a career now? Like, I mean, you've already kind of got the gremlins out, you know? You've already got the gremlins out.
A career in firefighting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I love this job. I think it's such an amazing experience. I'm hoping that I can use my experiences to teach others and kind of empower other people or just teach them and let them know that that this job is not anything that happens to you isn't going to define you or and you can continue working. So I went back to work. I'm back on the streets. I'm super happy to be there. And I'm just excited to learn more, experience more. So.
I love that. Go ahead, Holly. I'll take it over. Steve, this is your show.
I'm super curious about what made you say yes to today's opportunity.
So my chief Mitchell called me and kind of was talking. Kind of talking to me about it. And he had such good things to say. He said he kind of told me that I came into this so early, so new, and had such a terrible experience.
Right.
But I keep going, and he thinks that this would be kind of an affirmation, as well as for me personally, I just think that this would be, I made it through a burning fire. You can't really.
Well, yeah, you adapted and you overcame, and that's a huge thing, there's a lot of people that, like I saw a TikTok the other day with a kid backing in, and as soon as he hit the mailbox, his brother screamed and scared away. There's a lot of people that they run away from the gunfire
Yeah.
or run away from the trauma. And then there's other individuals that embrace it and get through it. And your chief's exactly right. That's what you did, and that's something that you have experience over anybody else, because I'm sure now that it's happened to you, now you know what to look for, so that you can say, "Hey, be advised. You need to watch the sector," kind of thing.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
seriously, don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
Yes.
You know. So besides running into burning buildings, is there anything else that you've ever done exciting in your life?
No, I'm a pretty boring person.
No, you're not.
No, I haven't done a lot of crazy things. This being a firefighter, I liked that you learned something new every day, and I liked that it was challenging me so much. And I do actually really enjoy that. It's something that not a lot of people do, and I get to go towards what I'm scared of. So,
Now, do you have family that was in the firefighting business that inspired you to do this? Like, you always have either going through the city or going to the military. Why did you pick the way that you picked to the firefighter?
My dad and my grandpa were both firefighters in Southern
Okay.
California. They both retired off the job, but I've always been around the fire service. I've always kind of grown up in it. I got to go to the fire stations when I was a kid. And then,
I mean, that's cool.
Yes.
Even telling your friends, my dad's a firefighter. What's your dad do?
Right?
Yes.
I'm like, oh, it's super cool.
It is. It really is. Okay, so now that after the skydiving, what's the first thing that you're going to do to celebrate today after you get done?
Funny enough, I bought a cake pop, and I'm gonna eat a cake pop.
I love it. Okay, so if you don't have any other questions,
I did, but it was like, phew, just like jumping out of the plane. It's out of my brain right now. I mean, for me, like thinking of everything you've endured, right, and that life's challenges. Has there ever been a call that sticks with you besides that? Like, is there someone out there that you still wonder how they're doing, what happened, or?
Yes, all the time. But so I actually experienced a call with an older man that he had fallen, and we went there. He had been on the floor all night, and when we were leaving, we kind of set him up. Like, we set him up with putting him back in his chair. We set him up with making sure that everything was next to him. We cleaned up the area, and he had told us he needed help, so we ended up helping and getting we have what's called social workers, basically, but they're they're co-responders, and they kind of help set them up with extra help. And I always wonder how he's doing. Actually, I'm always
That's awesome.
It's imprinted. That's super cool.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? And just so everybody knows, the only reason why we're not going to play the tribute to the troop today is because I'm going to add it later. It's just too technical here to do that. But what we're going to do is, after we get done talking with her, we're going to break down and we're going to go up to the jump zone, and we're going to be broadcasting. So as they jump out, not only will you be seeing them, but also we'll be playing like AC/DC Thunderstruck, just like Mile High. So it's going to be a great experience. So it is that time. It is the time to shine.
Let's do it.
Today's Time to Shine is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, veterans, and first responders. Runs on Dunkin'.
This is the time to shine, baby. It's the time to shine.
Shout out here.
So maybe this is your time to shine. This is a 2-minute platform. Maybe there's something that we didn't ask you that you would really like to talk about, or maybe there's something that you would like to plug. Like, hey mom, hey dad, anything. This is your 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And just think, it might go viral on TikTok.
So I just I kind of think the biggest thing, you kind of said, if there's anything that to ask her, there are a lot of people, they call a fire department like a family, right? And there are so many people that checked in on me, that still check in 8 months later, and they reach out, and I'm not the biggest talker, so I'm very thankful for everyone who continues to, who is there, and how much, like, the training program, especially Chief Mitchell, and all of them, how they ended up creating and making sure that the entire department is going through a Mayday training, and a self-extrication, a self-rescue training, in order to make sure that they're doing everything in their power to make sure that this hopefully never happens to anyone else on our department. And I'm super thankful. And I'm also thankful that you guys are here. I'm thankful that my brother's here. I'm thankful that everybody's I get to be a part of this. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Well, Heather, thank you for being here. And for everybody else, stay tuned. We're gonna go off grid a little bit, but stay tuned. We'll be back, and we'll be showing the Drop Zone, the special edition of the Morning Wood Show, right here on
Military Broadcast Radio.
the Morning Wood Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.